When my father died, I thought grief would be my hardest battle. But grief was just the opening act. The real war began in the lawyer's office. I'd given my entire youth to our family vineyard. While my friends traveled the world, I woke at dawn, pruning vines under the blistering sun, negotiating with distributors, keeping the business afloat through droughts and debt. My younger sister, Claire, barely lifted a finger. She lived in the city, parading around in designer clothes, sipping cocktails at rooftop bars. The vineyard was only useful to her when it made for a pretty Instagram photo. So when the lawyer unfolded the will, I was certain I knew how it would go. My father had promised me countless times, "The vineyard will always be yours, son. You earned it." Then the words came that sliced deeper than any blade. "The vineyard and estate are to be left entirely to Claire." I couldn't breathe. The room spun. Claire dabbed fake tears with her silk scarf, hiding a smirk only I noticed. In that instant, I realized she had poisoned him against me in his final, vulnerable months. She'd whispered lies into his weakening ears, that I was exhausted, that I wanted out, that I lacked vision. She painted herself as the savior of the family legacy while I was out in the fields breaking my back to keep it alive. I left that office hollow but not destroyed. Betrayal doesn't just wound, it plants fire in your chest. For months, I watched from the shadows as she strutted around, calling herself owner. She threw lavish events at the estate, inviting investors and influencers. She posed in magazine spreads, boasting about her vision for the future. Every smile she flashed in front of a camera was another knife in my ribs. But I wasn't idle. Quietly, I sifted through records my father once entrusted to me. And I found them. The cracks. She was diluting vintages with cheaper blends, pocketing investor money, and cutting deals with shady importers. She was selling fraud in bottles, tarnishing everything my father built. I stayed silent. I let her dig her own grave while I collected every receipt, every invoice, every damning email. Then, with precision, I released it first to investors she'd courted, then to regulators, finally to a journalist hungry for scandal. The collapse was swift and merciless. Investors pulled out overnight. Inspectors shut down production. The paper ran a front-page expose. Vineyard heiress exposed in fraud scheme. Her empire crumbled before it even began. That night, she stormed into my house, eyes bloodshot, mascara streaked. "You ruined me," she screamed. I looked at her calm, steady. "No, Claire, you ruined yourself when you betrayed Dad. I just showed the world." Within weeks, the bank repossessed the vineyard. Investors came to me, asking if I'd rebuild. I agreed, not for her, not even for me, but for the man who raised me, who deserved better than to have his legacy stolen. Betrayal nearly took everything. Revenge gave it all back.